to live life is to suffer. And I think we're in for a pretty miserable journey if we don't accept that as part of it. I think for so long I yearned for a life of joy, and my definition of joy was the absence of suffering. And I was pretty disappointed a lot of the time because there was a lot of suffering, and suffering in a great extent from going through a loss of something or someone, but then in small senses of feeling bored or confused or frustrated or any small little emotion that I would tend to disidentify from or distance myself from. And I think something clicked into place when I made the decision to go into my suffering, to go into whatever it is that I was feeling. And in that way, you totally disarm what it means to suffer. And then I started looking up the definition of suffering. What does it mean to suffer? And then the etymology, like where the word came from. And if you trace it back, there is a segment that says just to endure, to go through. And I really love that. I've started to adopt that because I can do that. I can handle that. I don't have to change what it is. I don't have to like recalibrate or remove myself or dodge my confusion, my frustration, and just go into it. It doesn't make it easy and sometimes doesn't feel great, but it is the refusal to feel what is there that really causes us to not have an enjoyable life. I wouldn't even use the word to suffer because we're not suffering. We're actually refusing to suffer. And refusing to suffer is what makes it worse. It is what makes it feel bad. When we are in an acceptance mode of whatever we're feeling, there's great joy. There's great joy in suffering. That's what I mean by that. There's great joy in suffering. And I'm not saying go seek out suffering and go help other people suffer. No, please don't do that. But in the natural occurrence of your life, there is confusion, there is pain, there is difficulty. And I wanted to change my relationship with confusion, pain, difficulty, anger, frustration, sadness. And if we can get to a point, if I can get to a point to where I'm okay feeling all of those things, I don't deny myself those things because I don't control those things. They just come up. They're just there. I wouldn't choose them, but they're genuinely the way that I feel. And I found that when I choose to accept them and feel into them and get inside of them, then I don't feel bad anymore. It transforms. I transform it and it transforms me at the same time. And I come out the other side just feeling like me. It's a hard phenomena to explain unless you experience it, but chances are if you're watching this and you've made it this far, there's something that you're going through. You might feel one of these things, and I ask you to consider that if the negative part of the way that you feel is related to the refusal of you to feel what's there, and go feel it. And I've just been focused on get inside of it. If you're confused, be confused. Be as confused as you can be. Admit that you're confused. Feel what it feels like to be confused. If you're angry, feel that anger. Where can you feel it in your body? What part of your body feels angry? And it's when you give yourself permission to feel what's there, does it feel empowering? It feels like you're in control, but what's really happening is that you're surrendering your control to what is there. And that is what feels good. That is where joy comes from. Joy is the complete surrender to whatever it is that you're feeling. I'll say that one more time, because I just made this up. Joy is the complete surrender to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. And if you're identifying that you just feel a little bit off, you don't even know what you're feeling. That's the worst one, where there's some sort of looming cloud over your head and you can't identify, you can't put your finger on it, because you would fix it, you would address it, you would do something about it if you could, but you don't know what it is. And so if you're anything like me, you just write it out. And sometimes writing it out means for a couple hours, for a couple days, and people, you know, your loved ones that you interact with, they walk by and you're miserable and you snap at them and it just comes out, right? So this is a new way to exist. It takes some practice, and it's not going to be perfect, but if you're open to trying something, this is why I wanted to make this video. Get into it. Get into the suffering. Go inside what it is. First, you have to identify what it is. So if there's that looming dark cloud that's hanging over you and you can't put your finger on it, here's my advice. Get outside, get into nature. Okay? It'll be the last thing that you want to do. You won't want to do this. You don't want to do anything. You want to shut down. If you're anything like me, when you feel this mysterious, like, thing, you start to question, right? And then the thoughts start to race. Observe those thoughts. Get out into nature. It's step number one. Number two is just identify it, articulate it, whether that's speaking out loud, and maybe people think you're crazy. If you can find some privacy, I recommend that. Speak out loud. What do I feel? What's going on right now? If you feel more comfortable journaling, I'm a big journaler. Journal it, write it out. But just exercise some sort of expression. Do an interpretive dance. If you do an interpretive dance for a couple minutes with whatever it is that you're feeling, I guarantee you'll feel better at the end of like 2 minutes. 100 seconds. See if you can go for 100 seconds doing a dance. Something happens in nature. I think nature opens us up. So if we're inside 4 walls, concrete, building materials, very dense objects, that can reaffirm to us when we feel dense. So get outside, let nature open you up. No matter what the conditions are, if it's raining, snowing, cold, hot, it doesn't matter. Just get out into nature. Why? Because nature doesn't decide what pain it's going to go through. A tree can't get up and walk away. A tree can't block out what it's feeling. It's just there. It just exists. And so what you're doing when you go back out into nature is you're getting back in touch with that principle of letting go of the control, what you're trying to manipulate, without even knowing sometimes, right? Give yourself some forgiveness. You don't know that you're blocking sadness or frustration or fear or guilt. But chances are, and there's always a lag time, right? Whatever you're feeling now is from a couple minutes ago, a couple hours ago, maybe even a day or two, but just listen to your thoughts, right? There's something playing on repeat. Your thoughts will keep repeating until you address what it is that it's trying to show you. If there's a loop there and you just it's so frustrating and it's not trying to get you to figure it out. It's trying to get you to pay attention to it because something happened where you feel a certain type of way about it. So it's not about being hard on yourself and wishing something that you've gone through went a different way, or actions that you've taken that you should have done something different. You can't do anything about that anyway. What you did was perfect, I guarantee it. And what it did is cause you to reflect on what you're going through right now. And it's not about the actions that you took, but it's about the emotions that came along with it. What emotions are you feeling? Are you feeling guilt or shame or regret or resentment? Just be honest with yourself. That's all this is asking to do. And if you can practice this and get good at it, it takes repetition. It leads to a more joyful life. It's the life that we're actually yearning for. At least I am. And it's funny because it requires you to do less. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to conquer or win or compete. It's just a new lens through which to accept what it is that your body is telling you, that your mind is communicating to you. It's this weird back and forth, communication with, there's just one of us, right? So to have a relationship with self can get a little complicated. Maybe I'll make another video about that, but there's more than one of us here. We're different bits and pieces and fragments of something more whole. And so we can talk to ourselves, we can communicate. You are not your body. You are not your body. You can say, I have a body. Who is the I that has the body? You don't say, I am body. I am body. I have a body. Who's I? I is it my voice? Is it the consciousness that lives inside of here? Or is the consciousness outside? My body is just a fragment of the greater consciousness around me that includes my subconsciousness. Definitely gonna have to make some more videos about this. This video is about joy and suffering. Suffering is to go through, to endure something. Go through your pain. Allow it to be there. Let it be there. Sit in it and accept it and experience joy.